6 months ago, one of the biggest days in Newcastle United's history, as our takeover was finally complete. The Saudi Arabia pair, Amanda Staveley, we are the richest team currently in world football. But in those 6 months, what's changed in Newcastle and what's changed in the people in Newcastle as well? That's what I'm here to try and explain in this video. All the benefits that Newcastle as a city and its population take from this, and how huge it is going forward. But you guys are new to the channel, make sure to get down there, hit that subscribe button. If you want to keep up to date all sorts of this news, all you got to do is hit that button and it'll pop up. But yeah, anyway though, not beating around the bush, let's get into it. As you can see guys, I am currently inside Leazes Park. Now we're going to begin off this video by talking about people's mental health and people's physical health. How does Newcastle's takeover factor into all that? So mental health, we begin off with that. Now Newcastle is a working class city, so a lot of the people in the city will work their absolute arses off throughout the week to make sure they can go to the games on the weekend. They'll spend that hard-earned money to watch Newcastle play. So Newcastle's performances on the pitch can massively dictate how someone's mood will feel throughout the week. If Newcastle win, you're happy. If Newcastle loses, you're sad. It's just like any other football club. You lose a game, you'll be deflated. Now, personally with me, the first couple of days after the loss, it can hit quite hard depending on how the loss happens. I think the Everton one, for example, we lost 1-0 against a team that really is terrible. You just feel bad next couple of days, like, oh, how do we lose that game? You're not motivated to get out of bed and do something. You're not motivated to go outside, get some exercise done. You're just not motivated to do that. Volunteer for a charity, for example, get involved with community work. You're not motivated to do that when your football team loses because you just feel down. So personally for me, Newcastle's performances on the pitch really do factor into how people's health is. And the takeover just massively boosted everyone's health because we were a stagnated club for 14 years. We had no ambition, no future. The club wasn't going anywhere. We were just almost like a yo-yo club, to be honest. We were just surviving on the skin of our teeth, season in, season out. It wasn't going anywhere. There was nothing to the club. It was just so crap. And now we got this takeover. We have a clear path to go on. We have a clear trajectory. We have season ambitions now. We have levels we want to get to with every single Newcastle team, which is really important. We'll tell you about your team shortly, but the main part here is that people as a result will be more motivated to get out of bed and do something. That's what this club can do. Behind me guys is the most iconic pub in Newcastle, the Strawberry. When you think of pubs in Newcastle, you always think of that one. It's been here since 1859, and here's a fact for you actually. Within a half-mile radius from St James's Park, there is 108 pubs to go to. That is the most out of any team in England. Being in the centre of Newcastle is quite big for the community. Now, with the stadium getting more and more fans in due to the takeover, the first women's match was played here on Sunday. That's more opportunities for these businesses to make money. Whether you're eating, whether you're drinking, whatever it may be, you'll always go to these places, and in the local community, that just generates more revenue, which is huge. Now, if Newcastle were playing European football, Newcastle had a long cup run. Again, that is more matches that people will attend. When Newcastle win matches, people will go out after the game and drink more in the pubs. A recurring thing that you will see in this video is that performances on the pitch matter, and they do. And with new owners now, with a clear direction where we want to go, we will be striding to get more wins. Under a previous owner, that wasn't the case. We wouldn't make the sign sufficient enough, and we didn't care as long as we stay up. Whereas now we have a clear direction and we are pushing to be more than just a team that stays up. Back in my favourite spot guys, upstairs in Rosie's Bar. Now we're going to talk about Charities and how the club since the takeover has linked really well with Charities. We're going to talk about the women's team as well because, believe it or not, they're also ran by Charities, so it's going to be quite interesting to talk about the differences made since the takeover and how things have really went well. But anyway, we're going to begin off with the food bank. So they're at St James's Park every single match week. £10 donation will feed a family for 1 week. Now Jamie Rubin, he doubles the amount every single match week. So let's say the food bank raises about £11,000 in a match week. Jamie Rubin would then pay £11,000 himself, so it actually will be £22,000. That's massive because one, it feeds a lot more people, and two, it encourages more people to donate. When you donate on a match day, you know your money's going to be doubled. So let's say I donate £10, I know £20 actually go to charity, which is a great incentive for more Newcastle fans to donate to the food bank. It's sad to live in an age where we actually need a food bank, but it's really good to see the club integrate themselves with it. Now, I did an interview with Bill from the women's match. If you haven't seen that vlog, make sure to watch it. He gives a really good insight into the actual process of the food bank. Now, one thing he said actually is that the club gave away free tickets to people that used the food bank for the women's match. Some people might go, oh, who cares, it's only £3, but the fact is the club went out of its way to give tickets to people that used the food bank who had never been to St James's Park before. They let them watch the women's team. 22,000 people watched that women's match. That is so good going forward for the women's team. Now, I don't want to slag the club off here, but the treatment of the women's team hasn't been good enough under a previous owner. The foundation plays a huge part in actually running the club, and the players that had to buy their own footballs, get their own kits in, it really, the club was just neglected. It's the only way of putting it. The women's team was heavily neglected. If it wasn't for the foundation, they would have been screwed. So now under a new ownership, Amanda Staley made sure they would play St James's Park this season. She went out of her way, made sure it would happen, and 22,000 Newcastle fans backed that team. Now, girls going to St James's Park, they can now picture themselves playing there one day. There would have been players there that in 15 years' time will actually play at St James's Park. People there that are just watching the game. Dreams were made true on Sunday, and more dreams have been made true in the future, because this club wanted equality and they actually went out its way to make sure girls played there. And going forward now, it's so good to see the club actually really care about its people. It didn't have to do it, but they went out of the way to do so anyway. And again, as I said before, that's more money generated and more income for local communities as well as businesses. It's so good for the club all around, and I'm really looking forward to see how the women's team progresses within the next couple of seasons. Cheers. Currently in the outdoor area at Shearer's Bar. Now, Shearer's Bar is just one of many visible changes that has happened since the takeover. It was named Shearer's Bar in the first place. It should have never changed. It's great to see it back to Shearer's Bar now though, and fans going into it can just remember the iconic striker that this bar was named after in the first place. So there still needs to be a bit of work done on the inside, I think, is all the shirts on, for example. But one step at a time, I'm quite happy with it. Now, as I'm currently recording this video, they actually started to dig up the ground where Shearer's statue is going to get moved to. So it's really good to see the club working behind the scenes, getting this stuff done as quickly as possible. The reason why I'm standing here is because we're going to talk about the Newcastle United staff members now. So in February this year, it was announced that they will be paying their staff members above the minimum wage. So staff members will be paid at least £9.90 an hour, which is great to see. It shouldn't have took this long, but that's not Amanda Staley's fault, and it's great to see that she cares about the workers regardless of how big of a role they play in the football club. She treats everyone equally, and it's just fascinating to see. As well as that though, and they had a Christmas party. Amanda Staley just went in, just met all the staff members, one's behind the bar working at the club shop, just meets like a normal human being. It's just incredible to see. She's not condescending, she's extremely down to earth. I met her once, she's a lovely woman, like she really is lovely. So if you ever get a chance to meet her, definitely say hello. But it's great to see again that they're taking care of the staff members, and it's just little steps like that, it just really gets people back into the club. It doesn't sound like much, but just getting people back on a decent wage and helping them financially really does make a difference at this football club. Anyway, there's one more stop we're going to take in today's video to wrap it up, but I could go on all day, guys. There's so many different changes. Behind me, guys, is the stack that is now shut forever. On May the 1st, that was the final day of the stack, and the reason for that is because a new HRMC building will get built there. Now, Jamie Rubin plays a big part in that because he's behind the development of it. He's going to be putting all the pieces in place to get it built. There's going to be 9,000 workers there. It'll be one of the biggest HRMC buildings in the UK. Now, over the next few years, I expect Jamie Rubin to continue to make his mark in Newcastle. I think he'll get more development going. There's rumours at the minute that the old fire station plans on building a hotel there. I need to research more on this, so I can't confirm anything, but quite a few people are talking about that one, so again, I might make a video separately on that if I find out more information. But yeah, I expect Jamie Rubin to continue to make his mark in the city. It's clear that he has intentions in the city, he has interest in it. He's a businessman, of course, he will be in it to make a profit, but it's good to see that he also has an interest in the city, he wants to improve as much as possible. And with his money in place, it also means less chance of things closing down. For example, under a previous owner, the likes of Game, for example, shops were closing down. It means more workers have been made redundant. So it's good to see the owners continuously trying to improve the city, and over the next 2-3 years I expect a lot more work to be done, so keep an eye on that, guys. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching the video today. Something a little bit different. We'll talk a bit more about the city itself instead of all of it based on Newcastle United. If you like this sort of thing, let me know. I do now in the future. Maybe I do some interviews, for example, and see how people themselves are actually affected by the takeover. There's plenty of content I can do on this, so guys, if you enjoy this sort of thing, make sure to leave some recommendations down below. But anyway though, really fascinating to walk around Newcastle today and just see the impact that the takeover has made. This is just in the short term as well. Imagine 2-3 years time, there's going to be so many differences, not just on the pitch but off the pitch as well. And I mean, what a football team to support, that's all I'm going to say. I'm buzzing for the summer, I'm buzzing for the future ahead. I know this football club will do everything in its power to be the best team in the world, and it's going to be one hell of a journey, that's for sure. Definitely better than the last 14 years. But anyway guys, enjoy yourselves. Once the season's over, we go again. I'm extremely excited. But yeah, I'll see you on the next one though. Cheers for watching.